And at this time, I'm going to turn the podium over. I'm so happy today to have Nartana Premachandra with us. She's the president of Dances of India, and she's going to take a look at the connections between the philosophies of Gandhi and Martin Luther King Jr., and also give us some moments to sort of reflect and think on that and how it's relevant to our lives today. And I'm so pleased she could be here. So please join me in giving a very warm welcome to Nartana Premachandra.
Thank you, Emily. It's so lovely to be here. This is my first time speaking in the Missouri History Museum. And as Emily mentioned, I'm president of Dances of India. It's a company that was started by my parents in the 70s. Excuse me. And my mom is the artistic director. And my dad was a huge supporter of the arts. He was a scientist. But he passed away a couple of years ago. So after he passed away, I took over the administrative stuff as well. So I always think it's a challenge to do both the left and right brain parts of a company, but I'm so grateful to be able to do that. So this is our 40th season in town. And I've spoken a little bit about Indian culture around town in different places, the art museum, and so I'm delighted to be able to talk to you today about Martin Luther King and how he was influenced by Gandhi. And I hope you'll see along the way that there were some surprises that I found in my research. So I tried to bring you more lesser known facts. So rather than the big cliche ones everyone knows, but rather lesser known facts. So hopefully we'll have an interesting journey this afternoon. So what Emily and I thought we'd do is, you may have received the note cards and pens as you entered, and if so, this is to just write your thoughts down on a couple of concepts that I'm going to introduce, just to think about these concepts and how they relate to your life, and how perhaps we can bring them into being into the contemporary world. I'd like to say that researching nonviolence has been such a wonderful occupation for me in these past few weeks, because the world we live in can be so bewildering and so harsh. And to read about two men who not simply practiced nonviolence, who not simply talked about nonviolence, but who actually devoted their lives to bringing it into being in this world, was extraordinary. So our first slide here is full effort is full victory. Gandhi, King, and the Persistent Path to Peace. Full effort is full victory is saying of Gandhi's that taking action is victory. So this is the first concept I wanted to talk about. When I was reading the works of Gandhi and King, I kept coming across the concepts of ahimsa in Gandhi and agape in King. So ahimsa is a Sanskrit word that means non-violence. Himsa is to strike or to injure, and removes that. So it removes all harm, all injury from something. And it's a concept that was developed in the Indian texts from about 500 BC. It becomes central to a lot of the ways of Indian thought. And I should say also Jainism, Buddhism as well. It's very, very important. So Gandhi said, no man has ever been able to describe God fully. The same is true of ahimsa. So if you can think about what nonviolence means, for Gandhi, it wasn't just simply, not to kill someone or not to injure someone, but it had to be an aspect of being in all areas of your life, in the way you think, not just the way you speak, but the way you think, because thoughts have weight. Thoughts are important. The neuroscientists all say thoughts are actually physical. They're not simply ephemeral things, but actually physical. And of course, the whole idea of your consciousness, the mystery of consciousness, of course, is also another concept which is included in the idea of ahimsa, so to not harm. So that's an important concept to keep in mind as we talk about Gandhi's influence on Dr. King.